Question number 5A. Question number 5A is, why is it necessary to constantly monitor drilling process during preliminary geological exploration? What precautions are necessary while drilling is encountered with trachylites? Okay, so this is unit number 5 question, that is preliminary geological investigation, and in this topic we have already studied drilling in detail. If you remember, I had shown you the drilling types videos in ICT classroom as well. So first you should write about what is drilling process and why it is important in civil engineering field. 2 to 4 lines, that's it, and then come back to the most important part of the question, that is main question: why is it necessary to observe drilling process in preliminary geological investigation? It is one of the part of preliminary geological investigation that we need to observe drilling process and drill water. What is the importance of drill water? If we are continuously observing the drilling process, we get to know that what type of rocks, how much water is coming out, what type of excavations we are getting, whether the rock type is hard at particular depth or soft at particular depth. If you have the different types of rock coal drills, then how it will be beneficial to know the subsurface data. To know the subsurface data in detail or in all the aspects, it is very important to observe drilling process. So importantly, you will need to write about drill water. So whatever notes I have shared, read drill water part in that, and that part you will have to write as the importance of observation during preliminary geological investigation. So the next part of this question is, what precautions are necessary while drilling is encountered with trachylites? Okay, so every time you will get such kind of question. Trachylites is one of the volcanic rock, glassy texture. So you will get some kind of similar question like, what is why water precautions are necessary while drilling in basalt, while drilling in granite, while drilling in trachyte, while drilling in metamorphic rocks. Such type of different rocks they will give you or ask you the question regarding the rocks for exploration. So how you will have to write? You should know about the rock first. So trachyte is the volcanic rock, volcanic glassy texture rock. So when we have to drill in the glassy texture rock, it is not, see, glassy texture, first upon it is found due to the rapid cooling of magma. So in the rapid cooling of magma, rocks are not at all strong. We can drill into it, but depending upon its fracture and joints or what other structure it has found. Okay, so in trachyte, again it is a volcanic rock, so we need average kind of drilling. So if you remember, we had studied about auger drilling. So auger drilling can be used for trachyte. If you have granite in case of trachyte, then you should write about diamond drilling, because granite is the hardest rock and we need to drill hard strata, and to drill the hard strata we should know about diamond drilling. So that is used in the hard drilling. So study for this is drill water, that is preliminary precautions, and then types of drilling, how it is applicable in the rock. So that is the important part you will have to write. This question is for 7 marks. So while writing the precautions, you should write it in point wise. Whatever answer you will write neatly and point wise, that will be helpful. Okay, so question number 5B, next question is, so 5B is, where do you propose a dam? They have given 2 options, so we'll have to choose one and we have to reject another. So I'll read the whole question first. Where do you propose a dam? On dipping strata towards downstream or on dipping strata towards the upstream? Justify your answer by choosing one statement and rejecting the other one on engineering geological grounds. Okay, so where do you propose a dam? On a downstream or on a upstream? We have to select one, we have to reject one, and we have to give the justification for both. For selecting one side, what are the reasons, and for rejecting one side, what are the reasons. So this is how we'll have to explain it. Okay, so first upon dams question unit number 5, that is dams, tunneling and reservoir. So we had just started that portion, and if you remember, I told you about the stratification, that if the horizontal stratification is there below the subsurface and we have to construct a dam, it is a stable one. But if you have strata dipping downstream, and our dam will be, see, if this is the strata is dipping downstream and we are going to construct the dam like this, it will not be visible, so it will not be stable structure. So we should now choose the downstream dipping beds. We have to always choose the upstreaming beds. Upstreaming beds will be the opposite. If you remember, we studied about we should never do any construction in the deep direction. We have to construct it always opposite to the deep direction and in the strike direction. That's why the roads are constructed in the ghat section and roads are not like this. Okay, so we have to choose the second condition, that is on dipping strata towards upstream. Okay, so that is the basic reason, upstream. For this you will have to write the question that we'll select the second point, that is on dipping strata towards the upstream. So we have to give the justification while you have to draw the diagram showing both the conditions, downstream beds as well as upstream beds, with proper naming. And then you have to give the justification for first choosing the side, that is why we have to choose the upstream beds, and then give the explanation for rejecting the downstream data. If we choose the downstream beds, of course all the structure it will be like dipping towards the down only, so we have to reject that strata. Study the notes which I have given you, different conditions, dipping of the beds in different conditions for dam construction. That in that part you will get this whole thing. Okay, also if you have maps with you, check map number 5, not 5, 6, 7. In 5, 6 and 7, in map number 5, 6 and 7 you have engineering problems. In that one of the map you will have the same kind of problem, so we'll discuss that in meeting as well. Okay, so next question is question number 6. Question number 6, A and B. Again, now we have here question number 5 or 6, so you'll have to attempt one. So let's now explain question number 5. Now we'll move to the question number 6. 6A says a road has to be constructed along the hill slope. Illustrate with neat sketches the relation of geology and the slope of the hill. Again, just now what I described, that you have the same question in map. So we have to give the solution, and whatever description in the laboratory which you have taken the photographs of that map description, in that also you will have this explanation. So for this question you can always refer that map description, whatever you have taken in the laboratory. So a road has to be constructed along the hill slope. So why do we have to construct the road in the circular motion instead of the hill slope? So illustrate with neat sketch the relation of geology and the slope of the hill. So the thing which we are going to discuss, which we have been discussing from long, that is why do we have the ghat section instead of construction the direct slope or direct road. So this is the basic thing, that roads has to be constructed along with straight direction and not along with the deep direction. If we construct anything along with the deep direction, it will not be long lasting structure, or it won't be stable structure. So we have to construct it across the dipping of the beds. So this is the basic main reason, but you have to illustrate it. Okay, so For this also you should refer the map description, which is already you have taken the photographs of that map description from the laboratory. Read that in detail. It is given total answer for same kind of question is given. So read that question. And this question was for 7 marks. And let's see question number 6b. Question number 6b says describe feasibility of tunnel passing through an area comprising of two fault planes. Okay, this kind of question is very important, and every time in your question paper you have such kind of question that describe the feasibility of tunnel passing through a fault. Okay, so faulted structure is very much sensitive, very much important during the construction of tunneling. Okay, so tunneling is one of the major structure in civil engineering. So how to write this answer is, first describe what is tunnel, what is the importance of tunnel construction in civil engineering, and what's its geological significance. That you have to write it in 4 to 5 lines, and then come to the major question part, that is tunnel passing through the faulted structure. First you will have to draw the diagram of tunnel and showing the faulted structure. You can draw any fault, normal fault or reverse fault, doesn't matter. But faulted structure are responsible for the disturbance in the structural movement, disturbance in the tectonic activity. It will give rise to the tectonic activity, it will give rise to the igneous intrusions, it will give rise to the different various structures of geology, that is fractures, fault will again give rise to the fault will again give rise to the joints, fault will again give rise to the fractures. Because of the friction between two beds, it will create more disturbance, and this is, so you will have to write point wise that faulted structure is responsible to give rise to magmatic intrusions. So magmatic intrusions, the problems will occur due to the magmatic intrusions. Then next, faulted structure will give rise to various different geological structures. So fault will again give rise to the different geological structures like joints, fractures due to the friction. So because of joints and fractures, what problems, civil engineering problems will get in the construction, that you will have to note. Third point is faulted structure will give rise to the seismic activity, and this is most important part, so underline it. Seismic activity or seismic waves, it will give rise to the seismic waves, that is P and S waves, and P and S waves are very much responsible for the earthquake. So faulted structure is very important to study while tunneling. So while choosing the tunnel structure or tunnel site, we have to always avoid the place where we have the fault, but if you cannot avoid it, we have to treat the fault. So this all things also you will need to write. Okay, so most importantly, faulted structure will give rise to the seismic waves, and seismic waves are responsible for the earthquake. So feasibility of a tunnel at faulted structure is not so good, that we have to treat it in a better way. We have to avoid the construction, otherwise if we cannot avoid it, we have to treat the fault in a better manner. So that's what you will have to write about feasibility of tunnel, and this question was for 6 marks.